And welcome back to Let's Play Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga for the second to last time, because we've got the final boss and the ending for this video. Real quick, I just want to go over my skill sets. Cielo, I've actually left him mostly the same as I did for the Huang Long fight, just because ailments are actually going to be a persistent threat in the upcoming fight, and I figured I may as well just have him immune to all the really threatening ones. Cielo just can't lay out the same kind of damage output that Gale and Surf are capable of, so I figured it'd be best to just have him be protected from his weakness and focus on support. So he's got Salvation, swapped out Degaja for Zeodyne just for the occasional bits of damage that he can get in, because Debilitate will be fine. Gale, I'm going to have him run Fire Amp and Fire Boost with Agidyne. No particular reason for that specific element, it's just what we've seen a lot of, so I figured, you know, it'd be fitting for the final boss fight. I do have Power Charge and Executioner set, just in case I find a good opportunity for it, but I doubt I'll actually use that, and I've got Makakaja so we can bring our magic up. And Elect Resist, Null Death, those passives are just generally useful, so I'm leaving them there. Surf has a bit of an unusual addition, you might notice, a multi-targeting skill. There's a very particular reason for that, and Fire Amp should suffice for my damage purposes with Makakaja and Debilitate in effect. And I neglected Fire Boost, or rather left it out, because I realized normally I bring Mabufudyne, but I actually haven't gotten any of his mantras, or haven't gotten his ice mantra that far yet, so Maragidyne, the only tier 3 multi-targeting spell that I have that's elemental. Also got Mind Charge for boosting his damage when he's just going on the single target offensive, and Bufudyne boosted up to the maximum because, well, he's a nice guy. Medea Rama is there in case I need it, though I doubt I will. And Mind Charge, of course, because that is good. One notable omission you will be noticing from all skill sets is that there is no Almighty skills, and we'll be getting to why that is when the boss fight actually starts. But now, let's go. This is the point of no return. Once you tell Gale that you are ready, so is he. Heat, Argilla, Cielo, they're all ready too, so we go beyond this door. And we've got a bit more of a distance to walk, but the difference here is that we can't go back anymore. So let's head on our way up. You see, we got quite the winding staircase here. And man, we've gotten high up and...
Angel! I know you're here!
Thanks to them, the shell has finally cracked open. You caused me quite a bit of trouble.
If I go back, will you leave the junkyard alone?
I do not like wasting time. Do you really think I'd agree to that, knowing what I plan to do through you?
No. I can't do such horrible things. Please go!
Impressive, but you are the only remaining cyber shaman. It took 5 years to perfect the virus, but you can already use it with ease. However, I do not like wasting time. This wasn't easy to find. You care that much? Since you show no signs of regret, I'll make this simple for you. Seraphita. These are clouds?
What the hell? Whoa! This don't look good.
Well, I was going to say that the scenery has gotten very strange as we've gotten high up, but as you can just see, the scenery has disappeared altogether. Yes, in that cutscene, Angel's true visage has been revealed, and it seems like there's quite a bit of history between her and Sera. Certainly, stuff that we aren't able to tell at a glance just from whatever they're discussing. But yes, the Junkyard is being destroyed, and it does not look too good for the comrades of the Embryon. Yeah, we probably should get a move on and get to the top of this tower. I don't know, well, I mean, we, as the viewers, have the benefit of knowing, no, of course it's not Sera, it is in fact Angel doing this. We've got to move, though. Looks like Heat's already gone on ahead. Yep, I'll just find him right here. Let's see what he's got to say about the current developments. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, things are not going good, so let's get up there and let's show Angel we mean business.
Stop! I'll do anything you say! Please! Don't delete them!
Sera!
Is that Angel?
Thank you for coming. I intended on bringing you back, but plans have changed. This matter no longer concerns you, so why don't you be good little children and leave?
We've had enough of your damn orders! We're taking Sera to Nirvana. So get your snobby bitch ass out of the way!
Stop them.
Stay back!
What are you doing to us, Sera?
I'm glad that we could say goodbye.
Don't. You can't.
Please stay back. Stay where you are, sir.
Damn it!
Please stop. I beg you.
You are beautiful. To survive, you devour others. A A demon epitomizes karma in its simplest form. That should not be wasted. But your hopes and beliefs are utterly worthless. At last we shall see the maturation of the seed I have sown in you!
Bring it on!
And yes, it's time for the final boss battle against Angel herself. And she not so subtly reveals that yes, she wasn't indeed the one who released the demon virus. Probably stood to reason, but that never was really clear. Anyways, Angel's demon form is Onmyo Harihara. Now obviously, as most final boss battles are, this is a multi-phase battle, so we'll just start off. Harihara is not particularly threatening to start with. We'll just get some light buffs going, have Surf throw up a mind charge so that he can throw out a really strong Bufudine. Let's see what she does. Now, Harihara, as you can see, has Hunger Wave. Been a while since we've seen that, not since Colonel Beck, of course. Now, Hunger Wave functions exactly the same as it did when Colonel Beck used it. It hits our party at complete random, and at complete random, Sera will cure it off a character. Kinda stinks that Gale got nailed by it, but not much we can do about that. Fortunately, I did not have him use Power Charge or anything. If you did, he could really mess your team up there. Now, for now, we're going to be dumping out Bufudines. And as you can see, killed her there, but, at this point, she transforms. Now, I believe she has varying resistances depending on what mode she's in. This is a more physically oriented mode, if I recall correctly. Yeah, as you can see, hitting Gale with a relatively powerful attack there just actually killed him outright. But that's okay. This is what we have the Revival Orb for. Not sure if that killed based on him having the hunger status or not. Alright, we'll throw up another Mind Charge here. This first phase of the fight is fairly simple. That's a good thing we had Elect Resist on Gale there. Alright, let's just pepper her with some light damage. Each one of these different forms of Harihara in her first phase does not have very much HP, so this Bufudine should trigger another transformation, and yeah. There we go. Now, I've been mentioning a couple times in passing that throughout the Let's Play, no enemy in this game really resists Almighty attacks, except for Harihara. Harihara is completely resistant to Almighty. She takes, like, only double-digit damage from it, so you could be dealing, like, 1,000 damage with a Power Charge Ragnarok. Harihara will only take, like, about 150 damage from it, and it makes this fight borderline unwinnable if you come into it with nothing but Almighty attacks. And that's actually pretty likely, because all of the bonus bosses, including the hardest one, are very susceptible to them, so there is a very good chance you'll come into this with nothing but Almighty attacks, like I did when I first played this game. That was frustrating. You know what? I'm gonna actually hang on to my Mind Charge Bufudine there, because this should trigger her next transformation, and then we can just completely annihilate it with the Mind Charge Bufudine. But yeah, this first phase, very simple. Not too worried about the damage Genocide can do here. And Surf is just going to absolutely destroy her, so let's have Cielo top her HP off. Gale will just throw out an Agidyne here, and Bufudine, and here we go. Looks like she's getting a bit more serious now. We'll see about that, pal. We will make it to Nirvana. Alright, here we go with Harihara Phase 2. Now, you see how she's got all those orbs floating around her? Those are Harihara's cores. The Earth Core, the Elect Core, the Wind Core. There is a Gold Core over here that corresponds to physical attacks, Water Core, and Fire Core. Now, obviously, each one of these cores corresponds to an element, and they reflect that particular element. However, they're fully vulnerable to everything else. Now, the caveat is, as long as these orbs are in effect, Harihara herself also repels the corresponding element. So if you want to deal any damage to Harihara, you need to get rid of the cores. And this is also why Harihara resists Almighty. If you could use Almighty, it would completely bypass the puzzle of the fight. Also, each core gives Harihara an additional action, and, well, okay, that's not quite accurate. Each core takes their own action, and they just cast out mid-tier elemental magic corresponding to their color. But 7 actions altogether, that can add up pretty quickly into some really nasty damage. So, we want to take these things down in one fell swoop. Now, the cores themselves also resist Almighty, so we can't quite take them down in a single shot, but if we rev up here, we can have Surf throw out a multi-targeting elemental skill, and yes, this fire skill will reflect back at him, but it'll also destroy every other core, thus rendering Harihara with only 2 actions on her upcoming turn. And that is why I had Resist Fire on him, because that fire damage is going to get bounced back at Surf. Now here comes another core. Let's see, she recalled the Elect Core. And yes, Harihara gets to recall 1 core every turn. It's a good thing I had Null Death on here, just completely takes out the threat of that Blood Curse. Alright. Let's see, I'm gonna have Surf Mind Charge, and we'll, depending on how this next turn goes, what core she recalls, will determine what I do next. Alright, so the Fire Core unfortunately survived that Executioner. So what else is she gonna bring up? Alright, that looks like the Earth Core. Yeah. Alright, because there are multiple cores in effect, what I'm gonna do... Oh, Reincarnate. Actually, it's been a while since I've seen this attack. I believe this is just a very powerful Almighty attack. Yes. Alright, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna have Gale just throw out a weak attack to finish off that Fire Core. And then we'll have Surf toss out the Mind Charge Maragidine, take out all the remaining cores, and yeah, look at that damage. Awesome. But yeah, she'll only be able to recall 1 core, and she won't really be able to do anything too nasty with just 1. She recalled the Water Core, so I'm gonna want to, as long as she doesn't recall the Fire Core, and yeah, she has Deikaja and Deikunda, but she's really random about whether or not she uses it. Let's just throw out Debilitate to get her a little weaker. We'll throw out another Makakaja to get our magic damage back up. And depending on how this next turn goes, that will decide what I do for my next attack. Calling another Elemental Core here. I'm really hoping she doesn't recall the Fire Core, and she did, of course she did. Alright, that actually means I do not want to reflect. Okay, there comes the Deikaja. Fortunately, there's still 2 Debilitates in place. Let's see. I'm going to have... Cielo and Gale team up to take out the Water Core. So, okay, he should just be able to finish that off the regular attack, and we'll launch the Mind Charge Bufudine. Okay, what's the next core she's calling up? Alright, I think that's the Wind Core, yes. But yeah, when you come into this fight with good preparations, it's not too bad. It's a lot harder if you do not have a multi-targeting skill at your disposal. Do note that due to the unusual property of Vanity, and that it just attempts to inflict a random ailment and doesn't necessarily have a specific ailment property, none of Cielo's resistances outright nullify it, but it does protect him from a given ailment that it could inflict him with. Alright, just thinking what I want to do here. Yeah, I'm gonna weaken that Fire Core. Oh, wow. Yeah, what the heck, let's get the Wind Core out of here right away. There we go. And may as well just, take her down with Zeodyne. Probably would have been more effective to pass to Gale and have him do an Agudine, but oh well. I want Cielo to get a little bit of action in for this fight. Alright, we got a Luck Core, so this turn I'm going to have Surf do a Mind Charge. Let's throw out another Debilitate to get those stat buffs back in place. I'm gonna use a Soma drop on Cielo so that he can use Debilitate again next turn. Alright, now the core we're looking for her to not recall. We really want her to not recall the Fire Core so I can take out all the cores in one fell swoop. Okay, she didn't. And yeah, let's see, what is she gonna do here? Just want to pay attention to whether she dispels our debuffs. Okay, no, that's very manageable. And it didn't hit anybody. Now this phase of Harihara can also use Hunger Wave. I've actually gotten pretty lucky that she hasn't at this point. Now we're just going to rev up that Mind Charge Maragidine to the maximum damage possible. Let's check this out. Nice! Got her in critical health. Alright, at this point, I'm just going to start wailing on her to get her to die. What elemental require? I think that might be the Water Core. Yes. Alright, so I'm going to have to use Maragidine. Slightly weaker, but we've got her on the ropes at this point. What's Vanity going to do here? Alright, I can live with poison. Yeah, so we're just going to start wailing on her. Hit her with the Agudine. And this Maragidine probably will finish it off. Yes, there we go. And that is the final boss, Harihara, defeated.
Impossible! Do you have any idea what you've done? No, everything will disappear. Nothing can stop it!
The gate! Run to the gate! You too!
And on that decidedly open-ended note, that is the end of Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga 1. Now, of course, they decided to end it on quite the cliffhanger because, well, this is a duology, and the events of Digital Devil Saga 2 pick up more or less right where this game ends. Now, there will be a little post-credit scene that adds a little extra intrigue to get you hooked on the second game. And I do plan on playing the second game eventually. I will be taking a bit of a break in recording, not that this really matters by the time anybody actually ends up watching this. And I will be recording a bit of a breather side Let's Play, but yeah, I will definitely be getting to Digital Devil Saga 2, and it'll be cool to import all of our accomplishments in not this file, because I have a perfect file where all of these side quests, including the one that I thought I missed, are completed, including one that we were not able to do on this playthrough, which I will get to when we get to the endgame save screen. But yeah, this game, easily one of my favorite games in the Mega 10 series, just very well constructed, takes all the mechanics that I like about Nocturne, makes a generally much less frustrating experience, gives you a lot more flexibility, has a very unique plot and premise. I love every aspect of this game. It is very immaculately crafted. The only complaints I have are relatively minor ones, such as, annoyances like the high encounter rate and the ambush rates, which is still a fairly common problem with RPGs of the era. I hadn't quite gotten to the point where we had, pre-existing encounters and everything, and if you got ambushed, that was your own fault rather than the game just deciding to be mean to you. It wasn't until Persona really took off that Atlus really started embracing those kind of anti-frustration things and encountering enemies. But yeah, I don't know if I could. I guess if there were more things I wish I was shown off throughout this Let's Play, probably would have been better if I could have shown my exact character progression, all the times that I've grinded out mantras, and give a better illustration of how I got from point A to point B, but that's really hard to show in a playthrough, and I didn't feel that a montage of my training would be particularly interesting, so I just decided to handle most of that off screen. I also would have liked to have gotten more combos into the combat, but the combos in this game are really bad. This is not the case in Digital Devil Saga 2. Actually, replaying through that game, it addressed a lot of the mechanical issues present in this game and tightened it up, smoothed out the differences between physical fighters and magical users, and combos, as we're on the topic, especially, are much better in the second game, and if you're playing that one, you should definitely pay attention to the combos you can use in that game, because they're quite good. But yeah, overall, this one of my favorite Mega 10 games, and as you can see from the length of this playthrough, not a terribly long or demanding game. It is an 80-hour marathon like the Persona series is for every game, and even compared to Nocturne, Nocturne, pretty lengthy. The average playthrough could run anywhere between 50 to 60 hours, depending on how good you are and how thorough you are with everything. But this game really tightly paced on your first playthrough. Can't imagine it would take you any more than 30 hours, and on my own personal playthrough when I was going through it again, it was just between 20 to 25 hour mark, and that was with some idling as I just did other things while the game was on. So yeah. And of course we got a nice little credit scene with some soothing music. This is definitely got one of my favorite soundtracks in the series. Just Shoji Meguro, the composer for the Mega 10 series, general composer, composed most of the music. He just went all out with this game, and especially with the battle themes, just some of my favorite compositions that he's ever put into a game in the series. Definitely up there. All his PS2 output is very great, but I honestly think I even like this soundtrack better than Nocturne, or maybe even Persona 4 or Persona 3. Definitely is much more consistent, has a nice smooth jazz rock feel to a lot of the tracks, and definitely just very epic compositions like Spider String, the second movement in the Karma Temple. Very good final dungeon music. I just get so amused at Rakshasa being in that scene. It's just kind of nice to see a random demon suddenly becomes a bit player in a major cutscene. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about the game, and thankfully managed to pad it out just long enough for us to get to the end of the credits sequence thereabout. But yeah, there's a lot of questions, like, what exactly is the events of this game, and who really was Angel, and how does she relate to Gale? When she finally got a good look at Gale and heard his voice, she saw him as somebody else, a blonde man in a lab coat with glasses. I don't know what the hell that was about. Perhaps we will get the answers we so desire in Digital Devil Saga 2. But for now, presented by Atlas, and one of, my opinion, one of the greatest RPGs they've made. Oh man, now that's one heck of a stinger. The blacked out sun over the desolate cityscape. Good stuff there. And based on that ending text, the more astute of you have probably realized what the digital in the title Digital Devil Saga finally means. But for completing the game, as always, or as per usual for Megaten games, we can save a New Game Plus file. I'm not going to be doing anything with this new cycle file because, of course, I've already got a perfect file. And we'll just wait for this to save. Scroll up here. Right here. Now, New Game Plus in this game, yeah, here is this, and this is the final file. This is what I will be importing into the Let's Play of Digital Devil Saga 2. This is after I've beaten the final challenge of the game, and this is right before it. Now, I've already recorded the final challenge for the final video of this Let's Play, and that will be quite a trip, so I hope you stick around for that. But New Game Plus in this game does not affect very much. It actually sets you all the way back to level 1. You don't carry over any money or items. The only thing that carries over between playthroughs is the learned skills. You also get one new skill, the passive Revert Human, which causes you to start the battle in human form, which honestly on the first playthrough that could have been situationally useful, but on New Game Plus playthrough it's basically just a silly gimmick skill. Now, like I said, when you import your file in New Game Plus, or I don't know if I've alluded to this, but I've been saying that there is one final challenge that we were not able to do on our first playthrough. That's because you can only do it in New Game Plus. A super secret bonus boss tucked away in a nondescript area who is famously one of the hardest bosses in JRPG history, definitely one of the hardest bonus bosses in Megaten franchise, and I have already recorded the fight against him where I came out on top, so that is what we will be looking at next time, and believe me, it'll be quite the experience. But for now, that is where we end off. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and sincerely, I really hope you enjoyed this playthrough. It was one of my favorite games, and I loved the opportunity to show it off, and even got to do some fun new things as I recorded it. But that is where we will end it for this video. Until next time, goodbye.